So I'm going to do a quick inspection of this hive. It is a nuke hive that I got at the beginning of July 3rd I believe it is. Today is July 28th or 29th. And I want to see how it progressed. I've already taken a split off of this. So we'll see if they recovered from that split. And I want to see how much they progressed and if they've started using the top super yet. They are not yet doing a ton in the top super, but they are drawing out comb. And I see this is a drawn comb, and this one is a drawn comb. Well, it's not really that drawn. They're starting to draw them out. They're just not, they haven't progressed a ton in that area. This is empty. There's a lot of dead bees down in there, so I want to take that and dump it. And I can smell that the nectar has started going sour, but there were a lot of dead bees in there, and part of the reason is I forgot the straps on top that keep this board in place, and those straps ensure that bees don't go down in the nectar area. So I washed the feeder out, and I'll put sugar syrup in it. And take a look at these frames and see how these guys are progressing. They were progressing very, very nicely before. This was a 5-frame nuke, and already pulled a split off of it. They drew out one side. This side is not drawn out yet. Sometimes the eggs are hard to see on fresh wax, but yeah, it's full of eggs. Nice frame of bees. Population seems to be doing really good. I'm going to feed these guys a little more. Get them to start drawing this comb. All this comb needs to be drawn by winter. So I'm kind of tempted to pull that medium super so that they draw this bottom super out, because I'm planning on overwintering these guys in a deep, and that's it. Got to fill it all up with nectar. So this is a lot of eggs and young larvae on this side. I don't see the queen, but she should really be around here because there are so many eggs. And I can tell that frame is pretty much full of brood, but I'll pull it out, take a look. I want to see what's on both sides of the frame. Yeah, well, there's a lot of brood that was hatching out. Now they put nectar in place of the brood. They like having the frames on the end full of nectar, but this is a significant area of capped brood, which is great. Put that back in. Slide this one over. I always try and be careful when you have bees like this. As soon as the burr comb gets broken, they run over and they try and repair it. So I kind of wiggle the frames back and forth to get the bees to move out of the way. They're so focused on taking that nectar and repairing the spot that they will get squished if you're not careful. This frame is drawn out. I see young larvae in there. I see a lot of eggs on this frame, but there's definitely young larvae in there. The other side of this frame is not really drawn out at all. I'm going to try and stagger these in there to get them to draw it out a little more. This is a frame that you can tell a lot of bees recently emerged from here. And just clouded over a little bit, so it's a little hard to see the eggs sometimes. Doesn't look like she's laying eggs in this frame yet. I think all these bees are just emerging. Nice frame of capped brood and pollen. Same on this side. And again, I try and wiggle it. I don't like killing bees if I can help it. Sometimes it's what happens and there's not much you can do about it, but if at all possible, I don't like to do it. Looks like if I add up the undrawn comb, they have 2 frames with one side that wasn't drawn. Another frame of brood, same thing on this side. This is capped brood. I would say it's probably at least 70% full. I'm gonna take this one, make sure that the queen is not on it. I do not see her, so I'll put this one aside. I may give it as a frame to boost another hive here. Another frame of capped brood. I'm going to put this take this frame that's drawn only on one side and I'll stick it right next to this capped brood. All those bees that are emerging, they're going to come out and start building wax. I'm going to push these frames in a little bit. I'm going to shake these guys off. Just double check for the queen before I shake them, and you just kind of shake them off like that. And I'll take this frame over to a hive down further that needs a little boost. I gave one of the frames to another hive down the line. They are not very strong, and that additional brood is really going to give them a boost. I think that frame probably had maybe 6,000 bees once it emerges, so that's going to really help that other hive get going better. They don't have much time before winter, so I need to do whatever I can to help them. This hive is going to be just fine. They are doing fantastic, especially having just started at the beginning of July. Put the feeder back in. Some sugar water. I think there might be enough bees in this one where if I wanted to, I could pull a frame of brood to start another nuke. Might be a good idea for me to just make sure that I have hives that are going to make the winter at this point. So I'll put that back in. And these guys are good to go.